Everything's just going to hell.
I know. It's so beautiful to see your face.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, it's going to take a couple of minutes.
That's okay.
Well, God. Everything's
so much.
Huh? What?
I've been with you so much.
You have? God. Well, man, I needed it. It was rough. And today was easier. Every day's been easier.
Yeah.
I did a show yesterday.
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah, and I didn't really feel like I wanted to do it. And then I did it. I mean, it worked out. So I knew I was supposed to do it. And then today I thought, well, but the thing is no sleep. So you sleep, I go to bed, I sleep an hour and a half.
Yeah.
I wake up, I'll hang out for a couple hours, I go back to bed, sleep 2 hours, wake up for 30 minutes, back to sleep for an hour and a half. So that's not been because of the situation. That's just been because. And then, but yeah, today I had, oh my God, it was so good. I gotta eat something. I don't care. My stomach gets torn up. I don't care. I gotta eat something. The soup, hot tea. I'm just like, oh, I'm tired of it. So I opened the refrigerator and I had one half of an organic avocado that was perfect. And I got, I'm telling you about the highlight of my week. And I toasted some 21 grain high fiber toast and put the avocado on, cut it into 4 slices. And oh my God, it was like better than sex. It was incredible. The little no, but I was just like, I couldn't stand it anymore. I was like, I don't care if this isn't the protocol, which I think actually it was okay because avocado is soft. And it says that if you have high grain, you're okay. But really, it's just been a slow process for the stomach to recover.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel pretty good. I discovered baking soda a couple days ago. So
what? Are we live or not?
Yeah, we're live. Let me check and make sure everything is.
Something I wanted to say to you without anybody else hearing.
Oh, no, you can't do that now.
Okay.
Can't do that.
About baking soda.
Oh, is it good or bad? Yeah, well, see, a friend of mine had written me, she had texted me, and she said, try some baking soda. And I'm like, no, I don't think so. that just doesn't sound right. So I mentioned it to Morgan, and she said that you ought to do that. And so as soon as I did it, wow, boom.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it was. So I did one yesterday, and then I did one today.
Well, I'll send some intel privately because it's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well,
I go to I came down to Bustleton in 2007, and I've been going to an acupuncturist who's similar age to me, and he's amazing, and he's put me on that, and I've just been using it, and it is unbelievable.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, it was instant, and it was really good. Yeah. But my friend had told me about it, and I read the box, and all the box talked about was everything except for ingestion. No. I looked it up, and it said what to do, and I thought, I don't know, I'm just not going to do it. Yeah. But then she mentioned it, Morgan mentioned it, and I was like, okay, I'll try it. Yeah. But yeah, it was pretty good. It was very good, and in fact, it's been extremely helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, enough about that. I'm just trying to get back into the saddle. It's good to see you.
So good to see you. I don't know what's going to happen today because I've been to the toilet 25,000 times. I'm asking my guides to help me because it's like I've got no words.
You got no womb?
Words.
Oh, words.
Oh, yeah. So all I've been told is, yes, I do need to come on. I do need to see you. I need to see you in person. And it's all about vibration.
Yeah.
And love.
I agree. I'm with you. That's what, Gabriella was talking about yesterday. I asked the lady that was on the last show before I got sick, and she had had a journey. Well, I don't remember her name. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But anyway, because she was talking, and I mentioned this to Gabriella, but she was talking about, because healers talk about, I never understood that, because I'm not technically a healer, but they'd be like, oh, I'm going to call so and so and get a healing from them, and it always puzzled me that the healers get the healers to heal each other, because I know in the end it's all going to come down to ourselves. But anyway, I asked that lady about it. I said, do you think that we'll just be sitting with each other, like merging, like Morgan talks about, and I think that's where we're at. So if you want to sit here in silence, I don't have a problem with that.
That's what they're saying. And it's like, the first time that I connected with Morgan face to face, we just cried.
I remember. I was there. Y'all were going to have a session and you cried for 2 hours. Well, that's what it's all about, right?
I know.
And like,
it's recognition of each other's soul, of connecting with each other. That's what I'm getting big time. And even when I ring my kids that are 2.5 hours away, I FaceTime them now because I need to see them.
I agree. I'm a big believer in you add as many frequencies as possible.
Yeah.
And the throat is, the voice is obviously a big part of this time, but the visuals are so important.
Yeah.
They really are.
Sorry, go on.
No. You go.
It's like it's soul recognition all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm getting that. It's just it has to be face to face.
I've been on my back obviously for most of the last whatever what day it is, 6 days. And so I've been watching, hand in the phone in the hand, I can barely talk, and I get on the YouTube and I start watching those little clips, and so just, trying to do different things to get away from the pain and whatever. But there's so much, we're talking about the visual, being able to look at somebody, even if it's like this, the energy still comes through. And watching all this stuff, all this distraction and distortion, and it's just like, whether it's a basketball highlight or whether it's all so contrived.
Yep.
It's so plastic. Yep. And, and I just feel like that this authentic, that I think that word's been already messed up, but it's just raw. It's just real. So like to be going through what I've gone through, and I got Nicola Farmer, Gabriella, and you, that's like the perfect atmosphere. I told Morgan messages today. I was like, let's just, I'm looking at what's out there going, I don't want nothing to do with any of that. That's just not, no judgment, but just not the same frequency. If people want what was the typical, things on these platforms, and they have plenty of choices out there, but not here. I'd rather talk to those like you and Gabriella and Nicola and the men that are like that, because there's more men coming up. But I mean, this is the silent majority, this energy, this mother goddess energy, it's just coming in step by step, inch by inch. Yeah.
And so fast, Todd.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel, like I'm feeling a change, even though in Australia with what's going on here, I'm a bit like you. I don't go much on to look at stuff. I mean, I don't read the paper or listen to the news or anything. I flick through the Facebook and I just save what I think might be important, but half the time I don't even go back to it. It's just.
Yeah, because, it's kind of fruitless, because first of all, it's like people saying, it's like people saying, okay, well, there was this many COVID hospitalizations, and like, who's giving us the numbers?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
where do you want to start here?
Yeah.
I mean, so the whole thing is coming down. We don't have to help it.
No.
We don't have to expose it. I think the exposure is within ourselves, and I think that's what this energy that you and those like you bring to the table, which is self-reliance of the soul, patience, nurturing, power. I mean, this is a power.
Yeah.
This power of this quiet nobility, and again, I feel like I was talking to Morgan yesterday, and I was telling her that when I was talking to Gabriella, and this happened the other day too, I think it was on the show with Nicola, but my two youngest are girls. They were with me. They were the only two of the six that were actually with me day in, day out for about 3 years while I was waking up, 2013, 14, 15. And I told her, I said, it's the three of you that began the journey for me to put me in touch with the feminine energy in myself.
Oh, wonderful.
So, yeah, I mean, so it was like looking at it and saying, wow, living with these two teenagers and going, okay, I'm just going to let you run and then having met Morgan. But this is what I'm talking about. This energy is just like deliberately, steadily moving and ascending in its frequency, and there is no choice. There's no way stopping it. No. There's no choice in, well, I guess your only choice is you can either resist it, which you can see what's happening.
Yeah.
It's all over the place. Really.
And you doing this platform is amazing, because what's happened since, I've been listening for a couple of years now, and I can see the change. I can see the change in you, and I can also see the change in all the intel that comes on your show. Sure. And how, and I believe, Todd, that's, what can I say? That's how it's meant to be, because we're meant to see each other and we're meant to see the change, and it's meant to come from just pure essence of who we are as the soul.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. I could say a lot about that. Well, I just look at my role. I've understood my role since the beginning. I was told 10 years ago, this is not about you. No. 6 months, I was told, this is not about you. Yeah. You're the carnival barker, right? And so after about 6 months, I said, you don't got to tell me this. I know I don't even want to do this, but I got it. So, but what I found out was there was different levels, just like everything else. So then I met Morgan, and I had just started like a week before. I probably did like 3 videos before we met. I think the first one was August 27th. We met on September 3rd. And so, Morgan, she's very direct, and like within a few days, we're talking this language to each other, which I'd never talked to anyone about. I'd never told anyone, well, I had, but they all thought I was crazy. And then I was a little bit surprised. She told me she'd never really just had these discussions to this depth. Yeah. And so then she says to me, you ought to get other people on. It's not just about you. But you know what she meant by it. So it's the same thing. Yeah. And so what I'm saying is, if I've done anything on a personal level, it's just to be show up, follow my guidance, show up no matter how you feel. Yeah. And for people to see the transformation of one of their mirrors. Yeah. And then to see that occurring as those like you step up is I mean, I don't got to do anything now.
No.
Yeah, I don't.
And there's nothing we've got to say or do. It's just energetic. It's just that energy, that vibration that's coming through every time we connect.
Yeah.
And
Really
it's just
is.
magic. It's just, I've got no words for it.
Yeah. It
I'm
really
finding
is.
with my clients that the energy is huge. It's moving. And it's been pretty full on lately because people are searching for, want to look into their journey. They want to know.
So are these people that are new to the path, so to speak?
Some are, some
Well,
aren't. But I've had one lass that came, had never had any Reiki or anything, and then Spirit told me she needs 4 in a row, so I suggested that to her. She did it, and then about 2 weeks after that, she said, "I want to come and learn how to do it."
wow. How
So
about
people,
men? Are you getting any men?
yeah,
Well, that's good.
slower, but they're coming.
Hmm. Yeah.
And it's just holding the space for them. It's like there's nothing you need, like I've been getting told lately that every time somebody walks in the door, I have to say, "You are the most beautiful human being, the most beautiful soul, and you're just full of love. And that's all you've come here to learn."
Well, that sets the pace right there.
So every person that walks in that door. And that touches, like you can see what it does to them in their eyes, like it's just, yeah, amazing.
And then this is in the middle of and all this stuff is just, it's just downright silly. I know there's, from a human only perspective, horrific aspects, but it's just really, it makes me think about a lot of things, like that whole Dolores Cannon, the background people, Franco calls them extras, uh, the percentage being about 60%, give or take 5%. If you look at Franco, look at Jason Estes, look at Dolores Cannon, and maybe that's how it is, and maybe that all of that part of that majority played these parts, but and then you hear about that there's the energy of many walk-ins occurring. You see a lot of people talking about that.
Yeah.
And a lot of whether the story is the bad story or the good story, it's still a story. But you look around and I don't know, there's just some type of thing happening where both are expanding. So
Yeah.
and the power of this individual transformational energy within a person, which is a universe, is just so much bigger than all that.
I know.
It really is. It's just like, how can you be holding the frequency you're holding right now, of love and respect and truth, and you know what I mean? It's just, it's baffling.
Yeah.
It's baffling.
I don't think we're meant, I suppose for me, my whole journey, and it's not about me, but I'm just sharing that I've never had to know the answers. I've never, well, I used to think that, well, I wasn't good at school, so like I was near the bottom of the class and all that sort of stuff, and that affected me as a 3D person. But I've never had to know I've never had to know what the answers are. Do you know what I mean? I don't have to understand it all to be it.
Yeah. Yeah.
All I've got to do is feel it and be it.
Yeah. Yeah. I can relate
So,
to that.
yeah.
Yeah. I can relate to that. I think mine was the same way. It just came out backwards. You know, because I would know that, like in school, I would know the answer, but I didn't know how to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I would just,
Know how
yeah,
I used to say, I know that I know, but I don't know how I know.
yeah.
So we've all put our hand up to be here at this time, and no, we didn't know what we put our hand up for. It is just the most amazing place to be, you know, even with all the chaos and everything that's going on. And the thing, what came to me, I don't know if it was this morning or yesterday, but for years I've been handing out sheets about words to take out of your vocabulary from one of Gerald Jampolsky's Love is Letting Go of Fear book, and also a little sheet on feelings. And you know, like, I'm really getting it now, why they got me to do that, because it's all about feeling, and it's all about, with what's going on, I'm realizing that I don't want to talk about it, because then it comes into my reality, and I don't want it in my reality.
Yeah.
So all I'm doing, it's like my journey. If I keep saying all the shit that happened to me, all I'm doing is keeping it in my vibration, and I don't need to do that anymore.
Yeah,
It's gone.
it's true. It makes it a little bit tricky too. I know we were talking about this yesterday. We were talking about just our own personal, I guess, physical actions, you know, to bring, you know, reunite, you know, in the physical. And I just keep saying to myself and to her, I just say, yeah, let's identify the steps and, you know, see which ones to take in what order, with no expectation, because there's something happening. And I've heard for a long time, you know, let go of everything.
Yeah.
You know, and we say that, but I had the luxury of doing it the first 2 years of my wake up when I was homeless.
Yeah.
And then I kept being told, like, go deeper, go deeper. So then you find yourself with, you know, a vehicle without a registration. Do you go get it? You know?
And how do you get it?
Yeah. I mean, do you get one? Do you not get one? Do you get car insurance? Do you, but you know, so there's, to me, this is not about the physical actions. It's about the energetic actions. So, you know, it's like I said, you know, a couple of weeks, 2-3 weeks ago, when I did a solo, and I was like, look, if somebody told me you can go tomorrow to Australia, but you got to take a jab.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'd do unless that was actually offered to me.
Yeah.
But if I did or I didn't, it would be a decision from the heart.
Yes.
I trust the heart that much. And if
Yeah.
the heart told me, you can take it, you don't got to worry about nothing.
Yeah.
Just,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's like prick your finger, you know, it's the same thing. Or I might have heard no. My soul might have said no. But I think that's the feeling that you're talking about.
Yeah.
That's that frequency that you're talking about. That's like that silent unification that her and Yvonne do.
Yeah.
That's looks like a small thing, but it's not. It's huge.
We have no idea. You know, and even, you know, like that first time talking to Morgan, we had no idea what was going on, and your head goes round. I mean, we kept doing it for 2 hours, but you just learn to go with it. You just okay, well, this is what's happening. This is what's meant to be happening. This is for whatever reason, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Without judgment.
I was there.
Yeah.
I remember. I was walking around. It was in Sedona.
I know.
I was walking around and I think I met you then too. But yeah, and you know, and those have actually, the first time I saw that kind of stuff happening was when Morgan came over the first time. You know, obviously her and I had already, but like I remember she met 2 or 3 people and they just went into a stare and then, yeah, nothing was said for 20 minutes and they're just staring at each other. Tears.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is it's increased. I've seen it happen a lot.
Yeah.
It happened to me a lot to Soulogy Fest. And it happened to a lot of other people.
Yeah.
It was pretty amazing because you can't fake that. You
No.
can't fake that. You can't.
You've got no control over it.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. There's a great picture. I don't know who took it, but it's a picture of me and Franco and Kimberly. And the picture is really, it's that moment. And it's really seen in her because she's rejoicing with her hand in the air, looking at us, seeing each other for the first time. And it's just like, whoa, right?
Yeah.
And this is a lot easier to do this than it is all that other stuff.
Yeah. And as you're saying that, huge amount of energy is coming in my crown chakra. Because, don't have to have words for it. How are you feeling?
I'm pretty good. I'm just fatigued.
Yeah.
I'm just my stomach it was a pretty severe thing. The rough part was the first 2 days, but but I'm good. I mean, I can feel it. I'll be a little bit better tomorrow, a little bit better tomorrow. I'm getting really skinny. So I'm going to be at my high school graduation weight.
One of the things I shared with Morgan, I spoke to her yesterday, one of the things I got was that, and who am I to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. I just felt that this was such a big journey for you because to learn how loved you are.
Oh, you mean, yeah. Well, that's a hard thing to, I mean, of course it's the self-love, thing, but, and I feel like I've always been on like most of us, it's been an ascending slope.
Yeah.
I do watch Soulogy's energy and work with Soulogy's energy, obviously Morgan and I. And I kind of do a lot of nuts and bolts daily stuff, post out, check stuff, things that you don't really notice. Yeah. But I was very, I mentioned it to her several times. I didn't know she had put that post up. And so when I saw the response, I didn't really think so much, until even right now when you've said this, but I thought more about Soulogy. I thought, wow, who are all these people? Because I used to know 100% of the names. Then it was 90%. And if I didn't know that, but I knew the energy. Yeah. And it's not just the names, it's the comments with the names. So for instance, I think the last time I saw that one, because there was a couple of them, there was like 1,200 people engaged it, which is a lot in a group. It's a little different if it's on someone's page and it's, you know what I mean? But there was almost 500 comments. So not only the volume of comments, because now you got to top it, you know what I mean? You're going to stop and type something. Yeah. That's good energy. But it was the context of the comments too, because there were these people that I didn't know their names, which I'm pretty good with that. And there was a lot of them. And based on their comments that they had been following, how I've been following you and Morgan for 2 years, or I've been following you since you were homeless, or, I've been following Soulogy for 3 years. And I'm going, whoa, like, whoa. So energetically, I felt like I thought I would just have to say it's all the same thing, that
Yeah.
this vortex we've all created
Yeah.
is really us, all of us, I guess. And I just didn't understand.
It's like that. I was off on another planet when that lady, I can't recall her name, that had got 900.
Oh, that
It,
one, the one
yeah,
with the husband was getting Mina.
yeah,
Mina was getting husband was getting the vaccine, and
yeah,
or wasn't going to get the vaccine, and oh my God, that's
yeah,
when all this started, though,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
it started with that, like this period. So it would go back, what, about 10 days to 12 days. That was amazing. And
yeah.
see, that's when I started to see this silent, I almost want to say, like, from an energetic, it's not, probably not the right word. It's not, I won't use it. I was gonna say like a silent, or like I said, like a silent warrioress
Yeah,
energy start to come out.
yeah,
And then there was the lady that wrote one off of that one. I wrote one off of that one, and there was just such a mass,
yeah,
and it was such a non-judgmental,
yeah,
honest and raw,
yeah,
powerful mama bear, men and women. Don't get me wrong. I mean, they're
yeah,
obviously the vast majority are women, but I'm going, okay, we'll take it a little further. So I've been talking to Morgan about this the last couple, 2, 3 days. I study these platforms,
yeah,
and I really study them for my own edification, for my own, represent, for me to do the best I can to represent Soulogy. And I'm looking at them going, this just isn't working. They're all stories. They're all clickbait. And not to take anything away from them, but
no,
there's something else that's missing. And I finally nailed it a couple of days ago. And I was like, this is what it is. It's Gail. It's you, Morgan. Like with her post the other day about that perspective of being sexually molested as a
oh,
child.
that was just,
Yeah. And right. And here is that energy referring to the perpetrator at 3.5 years old as a lover,
yeah,
as my first, what I mean? So the whole thing, so, I said, well, that's what's missing. They're not talking about the journey. They're not talking about the hero's journey, which really, if you look at the story, now you had the men, I'm gonna say the men, the masculine, which is mostly the men, went off to war, went off and did this, went off and did that. But that was a manipulated, uh, a siphoned use of the man's heart, where the feminine, which got suppressed, just went in, kind of contracted and said, we'll just bide our time. We'll just, and here we come. And that's what started to erupt. And so that story is not being told on any of those platforms.
no,
And I see that as being my objective. My understanding when Soulogy came to us in 2018 was, I am the voices of the Mother Goddess.
yeah,
And again, everything takes on different, multiple meanings in our higher meanings, higher levels. So that's what I see as, and it really, to do it in a way that emulates that energy that you have, that
but
the
how
goddess.
beautiful. I mean, I was reading that because I was sexually abused too, and I was reading that from Morgan, and I mean, I just, burst into tears. Her rawness and her honesty of the child at that age, and what she, I mean, I'm not hers, so I've got no right to say this. But what I felt was that it was all okay until she got to a point where she told that was bad and wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, how amazing.
Well, you read the comments,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
see liberation in the comments. Okay, so if you look at that, that post and those comments.
Yeah.
And I looked at a post today, 2 posts that were pretty high profile in our community. Not Soulogy so much, but just the light worker community, prominent people. And it's a cat fight. It's a debate. It's throwing rocks at each other. It's just a bunch of fucking bullshit. You know, it's not about, and see, here's the thing. When I say, I understand now how to produce it, I guess. And it is to be it. It's to actually emulate Soulogy, the consciousness, which is all of us.
Yeah.
Right. And I know that wouldn't be hard for anyone here to understand, but it's to emulate that. So it's not going out and marketing. It's not commercialized. It's not drawing attention to itself, but in an organic way, because there's an energy behind this goddess energy, this mother goddess energy that's expanding now. And we're one of the apparatuses, one of the vehicles that's just, in human terms, otherworldly. And so for every one of you that steps up, it's like a bomb that offsets 1,000,000 times of the distortion. And it's pretty exciting.
It is.
It really is. I feel like it's going to get real interesting real quick.
Let me see your eyes.
See my eyes?
Yeah. Yes, that's what I want.
No, sorry.
Look at those eyes.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. I feel like that's what I just went through was a preparation.
Yeah.
Like I'll be open. I mean, I had quit drinking in June. I quit smoking pot in July. And I didn't smoking since I was 9 years old. And really, I don't want to exaggerate, but probably more like, well, it's true, but not all the time. There was periods I skipped. But anyway, my point is, I still was smoking cigarettes. I didn't smoke a lot. I smoked like 6 or 7 a day. And I was just getting to the end of that. And I'd been drinking too much coffee. And I don't know, it's like everything just aligned, like with that Mina and Morgan's post and BJ, BJoy, and
she was
all, right? All of those. And then that Marie lady, oh my God, that Marie Erskine lady, oh my God. So all that came at the same time. And then I had that last show before I got sick, and I just felt all this intel, everything just started coming in. It's like my body's like, okay, you're done. Yeah. You're done with all this. And I can feel it. It's like a purge of purges.
Yeah.
So, I feel like it's in preparation, powerful, lighter,
Something huge is happening to us all, and it's just being. It's being.
That's true.
Being. Yeah. And that's why I said to you when I came up today, I don't know what I'm going to say because I've got no words. Like it's just, don't have to do it anymore.
Yeah. And that's what makes it, like we were talking about, it makes it like you just can't have any absolutes. Like you can't have any attachment or / expectation. You just keep going with that feeling. Yeah. And it's like every day is, you just, it's just like a new dimension.
Yeah. It's like I used to, in the 90s, I was woken up at 3 in the morning or 2 in the morning or whatever, get up, get out of bed, you know, and it was like I can't sleep. So then I started hearing this voice saying, get up and go into your workroom, sit in your meditation chair, you know. So I did that, and then I got like a defiant little kid that going, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to get out of bed. It's too cold. And so when I just got up and went and sat in the chair, or yes, pick up that book and open the page, or yes, listen to that tape, and it was all just spot on what I was meant to hear or read or feel or see. And then I could go back to bed and go straight to sleep. But it was like in that era, you had no one to ask. You couldn't get, well, you didn't share what was going on with you because you felt like you were mad or nobody understood you, you know.
I can't even imagine.
That I was crazy.
I can't even imagine what that would have been like. I can't. You know, I talked to some of these people, and primarily women, you know, what, 60s, 70s, 80s. Like that story Pamela Johnson told last time she was on. And they put her in the psych ward. Like she got lit and the harmonic convergence, and then 3 years later she's in the psych ward and she meets 6 other people with the same story that she had, all having galactic connections. And I can't even imagine. Yeah. They found their sanity in the psych ward because they found their soul tribe.
Yeah. And that's, you know, like just for me, what I've learned in this journey, you know, they label kids as ADD, and I don't believe that at all. You know, like that's these teenagers don't fit the system because the system's so archaic and they've never changed any of it, and they're trying to push these kids into a round, you know, like their square hole and their round, or what is it? A round peg in a, or whatever it is, square peg in a round hole. They just don't fit. And they're not meant to fit because they've already come in with higher vibration. You know, like my mother came in with a level of vibration. I came in with a level of vibration. My daughters have, and my grandkids are much higher. So they've already come in with all this knowledge. And it's got to change. It's got to change, you know, like it has to change for these beautiful young souls that are coming in, you know?
Yeah. I don't think they'll put up with it, to be honest with you. And I don't know. I think it's, but everything's also, you know, been changing very rapidly, but not without discomfort, right? I mean, have you had like this year? I mean, a lot of people, I mean, everybody pretty much agrees, they concur. The transformation, the expansion's been beyond, right? Yeah. But at the same time, there's been a lot of fits and spurts.
Yeah.
Have you had
and
any?
If it's not happening to you, what I mean is, if you're not physically going through it, your family is, or your you know, like your family is, so you're involved in what's happening there or holding space for it, regardless of if it's not happening specifically to you. So it's still all there energetically, that you're having to not judge it, to hold space for it, to send energy to it, to be just there with no judgment and just listen.
Yeah. The family thing's been a big deal.
Yeah, huge.
I never, has it?
Huge.
Yeah, it's, yeah. Yeah, I never thought I'd be going back to my hometown. And we went in February and there was that snowstorm with.
Oh, that's right. You went back and.
Yeah.
Brother.
That 4 days. Yeah, that 4 days. My uncle went into the hospital for outpatient surgery. He transitioned with COVID. I mean, all this, like, you know what I mean? And then, you know, Morgan kind of, you know, she went back and made a loop, but it's happening everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like people are I don't know what you'd call it. It's a different kind of grid work. You know, it's like I don't know. Just
Well,
like,
what's happening now is affecting every soul on the planet.
yeah, true. It's true.
So it's some people are making choices not to wake up, and other people are waking up really fast. You know, and that can be challenging too with the people I see, because, you know, I've done it in slower stages. I'm not saying there's no good, there's no bad, there's no right or wrong. But it's interesting to see how quick that they're moving once they do wake up. You know, like it's wonderful to see. You know, like it's just fabulous to be a part of them honouring, allowing you to be a part of their journey, you know?
Yeah. Especially these young people.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk to one of my sons tomorrow. I haven't talked to him in a while.
How old?
He's 25. 25. Yeah. No, he'll be 25 next month, November 12th.
And where is he?
He's in Corpus Christi, Texas,
Yeah.
where we went in February.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's he called me up a few months ago. He was like, he had an accident, car accident. And he said it woke me up. He started questioning everything.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was interesting. He just graduated college. All the people out, you know, all his friends out partying and everything. He'd be at home a lot, you know, on the weekend, just hanging out by himself. You know, I mean, it's just totally, you know, and then these two little ones, they're 19 and 20. They're both independent. They're, you know, like, it's weird, like something energetic. I can feel it. They both hit me up within 2 minutes, twice within 10 days. I mean, there's something going on. I feel like a lot of, you know, I was trying to explain some of this to Morgan yesterday, what I was experiencing, which is like, I'm carrying memory, not just from other, you know, incarnations and stuff, those have popped in, but it's what we're doing like in dream state.
Yeah.
And I can feel like the energy of what we're all kind of involved with, or I can only speak for, like, you know, my closest, like her and me and Soulogy, and like, I can just feel like things are done. And like the humans going, like, can sense it and is trying to make it kind of happen, but it's kind of already happened. It's really weird. It's really strange. And I think it has something to do with that whole letting the 3D go. Like,
Yeah.
like, I don't know, what's it going to take? I mean, is it like, do we literally wake up? And it's like, even with the sleep thing.
Yeah.
I'm thinking today, you know, I can't keep doing this. I can't do this. I need to like set a time, but it's just like, it doesn't register. It's like, what are you talking about? Shut up. Just, you'll sleep when you need to. You're back.
Are you there?
Yeah, you're back.
Yeah. Is it your 3D that's saying you can't do that?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, before I got sick, I was even taking sleeping pills, because I changed my schedule a little bit because, you know, Morgan was in Australia and I want to see her as much as I can. But even with sleeping pills, I take them, didn't matter. I take them, and they're natural, melatonin, and I would take them. It says take one, I would start taking two. I'd go to sleep, I'd wake up anywhere from an hour and a half to 3 hours later, I'm up.
Yeah.
So it's there's something going on. The only time I've slept.
Yeah, you're gone.
No, I was just going to say the only time I've slept was one day when I was, I think, recovering. I slept like 14 hours straight, 12 hours, 14 hours. What were you going to say?
Well, I think, you know, that it's a bit like there's breatharians and there's, sorry.
No, it's okay.
you know, that and you read that there was people that lived to be 800 years old and all that. We've got no concept of any of that. We've got this fixation of how we think life should be, and I don't know how to explain it. What we're finding out is that it's none of that at all.
Mm.
You know, like it's shifting goalposts all the time. The goalposts are getting wider and wider and wider and wider until there's no goalposts at all.
That's right. It's weird. It's very weird. It's like you let go, you don't lose anything, but you have to let go. I guess the best way to say it would be like you let go of the 3D aspect.
Yeah.
And then you gain a higher dimensional aspect of what you let go of. And it's so much bigger. It's just like.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know where my mind is these days.
Me either.
You know, like I don't know where I am, or I mean, I do in some part of me, but it's just like, well, I just move through my day.
Yeah.
Spend time out in nature, you know, like, and not giving myself a hard time if I don't get up and go for that walk, you know, like it's just dropping all the judgment and all the programs that we were ever given that this is how we should be.
Yeah. That's my stomach. It's voices as loud as mine. Have you had any triggers or challenges? Like, you know, I mean, obviously with Morgan and I physically being in different locations, that was a bit of, you know, challenge. Going down to see my family was a bit of a challenge. Soulogy Fest, you know, there's good stress and bad stress kind of energy, but I can't complain too much. But I'm like you too.
I live in a beautiful place in WA, which is 3 hours, about 2.5 hours from Perth. So as far as the whole, what's happening in Australia, we're in a beautiful place and we haven't got any of those challenges. But I've had a lot of challenges with I've got 3 daughters, and one of them, her husband died he went into hospital on the Monday and died on the Saturday. And so there was a lot of stuff in that to work through because they weren't, what can I say that's positive? It was a challenging relationship. And so I'd flown to I'd driven to Exmouth and I only got to Exmouth, which is about 12 hours drive north. And I'd only got there at 3 PM and then got told this news about 7:30. So I had to jump on a plane and come straight back to Perth. And so, and that was okay. But it was an interesting experience because I'm holding energetically the energy for the whole family and the kids, but there was just so much darkness going on that it was just being able to stay in that heart space was very challenging.
Really? That was
Pardon?
That was your initiation? I mean, how did you?
It's another one.
Another one, right? But I mean, so you had to really be conscious. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I've been through a lot in my life, but that would be one of the most challenging times.
Really?
Yeah. So yeah, it's just like you go through one and then you and then you go through another one and then you go through. So it's just this ongoing process of becoming clearer and clearer of what your soul, or who, you know, what your soul, that your soul wants you to be, you know, that wants to return to that love, and that's all there is. I don't know how else to explain it.
Yeah. Well, that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's really what it is, because everything else is, it's not even real. I mean,
No.
that's kind of it could be, I guess, a potentially spiritually bypassing statement, but because it is all relevant.
Yeah.
I mean, it's actually extremely relevant. It's not, as they say, the end of the world. It's just not,
No.
it's, I don't know. You can call it a simulation, or, I mean, I don't know. To me, it's the gift of it is, and I'm a big cheerleader for the human hybrid, the human hybrid soul, is the human heart. Like the human heart, there's all through our history, even through all the darkness and all the deceit and everything, there's this heart that never stopped through the lineage. You know what I mean? And then you have that reality of unconditional love and that whole thing. And I just feel like that's the living library. That's the offering that we have. I call the heart now the soul within the soul, like it's unique to the human. Because
Absolutely.
yeah. I love that story, Alicia Brochet. Did you see that show that Alicia Brochet did last month with us? Yeah, she came on and she talked about, and I didn't realize how, because it was all the hero's journey month when we started it, and she was talking about how she had a immaculate conception, how somehow or another she's energetically and doesn't have physical evidence, but all this, and she was crying and it was very deep. And then she says, I asked a few questions and she said, yeah, I had a visitation from a mantid in my bedroom. And he told me that not to worry, that they were facilitating the whole situation, and, not to worry about it. She said, well, what about my emotional quotient? And he said, well, we didn't consider that. And I don't know what she said to him, but just the energy in that moment, this woman coming out, and in that story telling how she met many other women who had the same experience, and in the comments, and it was just like, whoa, what's happening? But I could just see the energy of, well, you're going to consider my emotional quotient from here out. I will be heard. It was almost like a roar.
Wow.
And to me, that was like, that was like the symbol, in the symbolic energy of that soul within the soul, that the human has. So, because if you read about and research about ETs and star family, they don't have the emotional quotient that we have.
Yeah, we are the only one.
Yeah, to this extent. Yeah, I mean, so that's got to be a superpower. I believe it has to be.
And probably that's, I don't know, just talking out of wherever, that's been our biggest challenge.
Mm-hmm. Well, there you go. Your greatest weakness is your greatest strength. Right. I know. So that I think there's been 3. So Morgan went she went straight into lockdown. Second night, I came for a visit, and there was energetic, physical intercourse.
Yeah.
And there was another one that happened a couple weeks later where there was hand holding, caressing, and then nothing for a while. And then I don't know, a week ago, 10 days ago, it was another part. We'll probably talk about it at some point. It wasn't light body, and it wasn't, it was something different, an aspect of me or something. But my point is that in all 3 of those times, I didn't specifically make that happen. Like consciously, I'm going to go do this, and I'm going to make this move, and then that move.
It just happened.
But yeah, but what was common in all three cases was I went to that spot, that soul within the soul, and I did say, and I did, you know what I mean, one way or the other. And so that's how that occurred.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
it shows us, Todd, how amazing and powerful we are with our manifestation.
yes.
Like we have, until something like that happens to you, you just have no idea how powerful we are.
That's right. And what gets in the way?
Yeah.
Car insurance, rent.
Yep.
Got to sleep a certain cycle.
Yep. I need sleep. I don't need sleep. I need food. I don't need food. All those
habits, addictions,
yes,
distractions, television.
It was just coming to another place. It was really interesting to see that Morgan had how can I explain it? Had a lot to go through about a week before she went through like another initiation about a week before you became sick, didn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know what? That's very true. And that actually, I was thinking about this. The last time I was sick was in let's see, there goes the brain. But it was 2018, 2019, 2018. It was 2018. And I had gotten to Hawaii just somehow. And she got over there. And we spent about 7 days together. It was quite incredible. And then we went to this hotel. And the first night, we got in the hot tub for 2 minutes. Now, I don't know if that's what caused it. It was meant to happen, but it was a 30-day period. No, it wasn't 30 days, but she went 13 days. I went 17. And they overlapped. But it was severe. It went through every chakra. We had the same symptoms. They didn't make any sense. I mean, it was scary. And so this reminded me of it. I was thinking about it. I was thinking, well, we're not physically in the same place, but
the same thing's happening.
It's kind of like the same thing happened. Yeah. And it was before, it was like a major preparation. And that's what I was saying about this whole heart space thing. She made a comment that she had, it was a vision of the potential. But I remember her telling me when she was telling me about that third time that she could feel me in the room, right? There was this, so again, my vision, my dream state, and my physical reality are becoming very, very similar. Because a lot of times it was happening to me today, and I know I've been sick, but it was either today or last night, I can't remember. But anyway, it was in the last 24 hours, and I'm sitting there and I'm going, this is just like a hallucinogenic experience. I'm watching the walls breathe. I'm watching colors come out of the walls. I don't know. You tell me. I mean, to me, they're all one and the same. That stuff is there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if I look at the wall and I say, that's only a wall with paint on it. Yeah. It's solid. I can't put my hand, you know what I mean? Nothing, you know what I mean? And that's all. Is that it? Is that the only thing? Is that the veil? My very belief, my thought?
I think it comes back to our thoughts.
Yeah.
I think, like you might not have to get on a plane and go to Australia. You might just teleport yourself. So
that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
Absolutely.
Seriously.
Mm.
I mean, I was I think I told Gabrielle about it. I had that orb appeared on my stomach
Yes,
with a little
yes.
shard.
And
It
it had
goes,
the rose round it.
yeah, a rose, had a rose rim.
Yeah,
It was very clear.
yeah.
And it went into my navel. Like, I'm looking for it. Like, first of all, I don't even know where you know what I mean? I told Morgan, well, maybe there was a reasonable explanation, but it still doesn't take away from the fact that it happened.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's like us learning we don't need the explanation.
Yeah, true.
You know?
That was the explanation. Asking for the healing, that was the explanation, was the occurrence of it.
Yeah.
So many things.
I know.
So many things that we overlook.
And it's just being mindful. I mean, I remember going to India quite a few years ago, my first trip. I've been there quite a few times since, but my first trip, and it was like, and staying at this ashram, and it was like you could feel the love, but it was like a fire inside you that was burning off every bit of dross that you had.
Mm.
And it was just, well, that was one of the most challenging experiences I had, because I went with 18 people that I didn't know, and one of the people in our group wasn't feeling well, so I offered to give her some Reiki, which she came and had, and then the lady that was organising it all found out and came and banged on my door and told me I was evil and I was not to do that. And I'm thinking, geez, how's something like this happening when I'm in an ashram? And for the next 2 weeks, only 2 people spoke to me, and all the rest avoided me and went on the other side of the path to get to the Mandira where you'd meditate. And I'm thinking, God, how can this be happening here when we're supposed to be all love and light? But I asked for, like I came in putting my hand up wanting learn about separation, rejection and abandonment, and I got it in one.
It's funny how the lessons come.
Oh.
It's funny how they come.
But and it was amazing because my eyes just got bigger and bigger, because I'd go to put my shoes on and go, oh, I've never seen that label before. They're called love. Like there was these messages everywhere. It was just mind-blowing.
Yeah. Humility. I think that's a big one. What were you going to say?
I rang my daughter and she said, how are you going, Mum? Because she'd been, and I went, I hate it. I want to come home. I've never felt so lonely and abandoned. But yeah, that's all the lessons, isn't it?
They come. They're there all the time, all day long, every day.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting too to me, because it is like a storybook every day. Like, it makes sense. It's cohesive. It doesn't necessarily look like it would be connected, but everything's connected. I'm more than ever, I pay great attention to the way things happen. Like, for example, was talking to Morgan. It would have been 2 days ago. I'm just starting to feel better. I said, let's go ahead and do Gabriella. And we had a session that was scheduled. And so I said, let's do them both. And then about an hour later, I was going, you just fell into a pattern. You agreed to do it. You're Mr. Gung Ho. You want to get back on there. You're really not okay. I can feel it. Something's not right. And then bam, 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 bam. Things just started happening. a message here. I saw something here. I got something there. And the next thing you know, I'm supposed to be asleep. And of course I sleep an hour and a half and I wake up and I pull up the phone and I guess I'll, I am feeling a little better. And I guess I'm going to be doing this, and I'm still in that human doubt and this and that. And I go to that post in Soulogy she put up, and I just went to put an answer, like, thank you everybody for the healing. And, because I figured I'm coming out of it now. I'll see you tomorrow. And in that moment, she was writing a post, doing the same thing at the exact time. Not only that, but she was on the phone with Gabriella, right? She was on the phone with Gabriella, who I was supposed to do a show with, who had somehow, her phone had gotten through where Morgan can't get a phone call. So I'm like, okay. So I'm supposed to do the show. We're aligned. Just keep going. Yeah.
It's like we have to be very mindful of when we're coming from our 3D self to coming from our 5D self, and sometimes it's like you can't make any plans at all.
Yeah. And it's hard sometimes.
It's like that Beatles song, isn't it? Life happens when you're busy making other plans.
Yeah. Or Day in the Life. That's my favorite one. What's that other one? My Life. I like that song.
And I loved what you said the other day, and I've taken it on board, was, you were saying you hate the saying, it is what it is.
Yeah.
And I've been saying that a lot lately too. Yeah. And then you said, it is what it is now. And I went,
that's right.
I love that.
No, that's, I can't stand, but it is what it is. To me, that's like, well, everything happened for a reason.
What's the other thing?
The other one that people say was like, everything happens for a reason. Well, but to say it is what it is today.
Yeah, and I love
that fits for me because
nails it.
Yeah, because that's all you got, right? I mean, and so what you were saying about the 3D thing, being conscious, I think we are, but I think we still get pulled in.
Well, we were like this.
Yeah, we get pulled in, and then we go, okay, I'm in it. And we're not, to me, this is for me. I'm not saying this, I'm just saying this is how I kind of have seen myself evolve as I go, okay, I'm in it. It happened. I'm gonna, I'm gonna put it over there now and see where it stands. It is what it is now. This is not now. This was just me falling back. And I quickly, like go in forgiveness for myself, and then for anything that I've, has rippled out. But yeah, this whole
like coming back to gratitude, like I walk along the beach these days. Thank you for my toes. Thank you for my feet. Thank you for the soles of my. I need to be very conscious of that.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. That's the number one thing. Gratitude, humility. And to me, they kind of go together. But the gratitude to me is like, I don't know, maybe they are kind of together. But like I put up this post in Soulogy, and it looked like somebody, like maybe an African or Aborigine, and all, because all you could see was their feet, the lower part of their legs. And they had a couple of 2-liter plastic Coke.
Yes, I sent that on.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Like that's, you know what I mean? And that's like, and I know that sounds a little far out there, but when we look at the things that we're bitching about, and then of course, I had an episode, even like when Morgan was going through what she was going through, I woke up one morning my body kind of did some weird stuff. I was shaking, and I ended up doing a solo because I was guided to do it. But it was about mortality. Like, it is what it is right now. And right now, I don't think I'm going to be here. Right. So I got something to say. Or so that thing, that's another thing that, getting sick, COVID,
Yeah.
the idea of that, or the suggestion of that, or whatever you want to call it, or any illness, or like what happened with you, with your family member, or with me. I went down. My uncle goes in to have an outpatient surgery, and he transitioned 21 days later. He didn't have COVID when he went in.
Yeah.
And then did he have COVID?
Yeah.
I mean, so it's like it's that the little things.
Yes.
That
And I think as you're saying this, Todd, what I'm getting is it's all about immortality and death. Like we've never wanted to face that.
Yeah.
And it's so important that we do.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean, I'm 72, and when all this went on in Perth, I came home and I'd already written out my funeral because I'm not frightened of dying, but I went, oh, I know. Well, I want this sort of music, and I don't want anything about. I don't really want to go to a mortuary. Thousands of years ago, they didn't do any of that, and I don't want to be involved in anything that's not organic, and I just want to be popped on the dining room table in a cardboard box, and people just come and have a good time and celebrate. And I thought, I need to write all this out because that's what I want. I don't want people to be sad. I haven't, my physical body's not here, but I'm still here.
Yeah.
And I think most people, working with hospice and a lot of cancer patients that I've done, it brings you back to being humble and being honouring of listening to that person, being there of service, sending love, just being.
Yeah. True. Yeah, the noise is going away, isn't it?
Yeah.
All the noise is going away.
And I think that's with this not having any mind, like, I don't know what I'm thinking. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
It's only as these words pop in, I say them, but apart from that, I don't know where I'm going or what I'm doing, and it's not worrying me.
I remember this energy as a kid. I remember being able to flow like that.
Yeah.
And even, less and less as time went on, but I remember this very clearly.
Yeah. It's only when the programs really start to be pushed, do you lose that.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm finding with a lot of teenagers I see, and even my grandchildren, and there's one particular lass in Perth who's in her 20s now, and I've known her since she was about 8. She's never lost that. She's still there. She's still connected. And I think that's what it's all about. I think this is why, sadly, so many, teenagers and young people have mental issues, because they don't fit, they don't know, they don't connect with this crazy world.
Yeah. All ages.
And who's out there for them to know that there is something else. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very true. That's very true. It's like that meme that says, keep doing what you're doing because you never know who's watching.
Yeah.
You might not think anyone's watching, or it's the ones that you don't think are watching, they're watching.
Yep. Well, you find that with the kids, don't you?
Mhm.
My girls are in 49, 47 and 43, and they're relating back to me now that how they watched me manicure my nails, or how I put makeup on before I went out, or things like that I didn't even know they were watching.
Hmm.
So it's not what you say, it's what you do that's so important.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Yeah. I think Gabriella said it good yesterday with the thoughts, words, and actions.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. It's the truth embodied. That's what it is.
Yeah.
So
Exciting.
I think we've done a great job, and I think we got a great. I think we're going to see some great things these next 3 months. Is it 3 months? October, November, December. Yeah. So, so I'm certain that yeah, I'm still waiting for the body to regenerate. Maybe that's what's happening. Maybe I'm bottoming out now.
It will.
Oh, I don't care. I just, hey, it is what it is today.
For now.
Right now. That's it. So you
I love
got
you.
it is, but it really is. I mean,
I know. And that, you know, that last minute's gone, the next minute hasn't come. So all I've got is right here, this very.
I know. And I'll probably, you know, I told myself last night I wouldn't eat anything, and I told Morgan I'm not going to eat anything. I'm going to go 24 hours. And man, at 24 hours and 1 minute, I was eating something, and I had, a better night, but I probably would have had a better night had I not eaten anything. So in other words, I know I'm going to screw up here and there. I know, but it's important. Yeah, but it's important because now, like I said, you can take that, put it over here and go, okay, I don't want to talk about that. It's done. I'm done with it. Thank you. Kiss it. I'm done. Let's, because the energy supports it now.
Yeah.
And I think it supports it because of the work people do. One of the things I do kind of align with is a lot of these different people that do the forecasting. Some people might call them predictions, but I would say forecasting. I'm less inclined with predictions. They talk about how it continues to accelerate, how we continue to converge more timelines into one. And I just read one today from somebody, and I was like, I respect the lady. And I was like, okay, this makes sense. It feels right. So,
well, we all connect. We're, like you can see that on Soulogy, like it's people coming out of their programming and their conditioning and having, the courage to get up and say something.
Yes. That's the name of the game.
Yeah.
That's the name of the game.
Yeah.
Right there.
I've just had the courage. I'm just in the process of just finishing a book, and I would never do that. Who me, that was no good at school and have got nothing to say. And it's been a process, and it's all about timing. So and it's for young teenagers. So
it's for teenagers.
About spirituality. I'm scared shitless.
Well, I joined your page. Is it a page or a group? It's a page, right?
I don't know. Somebody else did that for me. I don't know how to do it.
Oh my God, you're just like Morgan. But I joined it, and then I saw something that you said, and it was it's at the publisher, or there's a last edit or something like that.
Yeah, it's at the last edit. So yeah.
How long did you work on it? How long did you work on it?
It's been over 2 years.
Really?
Yeah. And it's very simplistic, Todd.
Those are the best ones.
It's not, and the lady that was going to do the cover, she had the challenge of cancer, so I ended up doing that as well, and I'm not an artist. And I've done little drawings in as well, so it's just stick figures. So it's a very simplistic little book.
Hey, the best ones are. I love Herman Hesse, Siddhartha, The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho.
Oh, yeah, that's beautiful.
The ones that tell the little stories. Is yours a story novel type?
It's an A to Z. The spirituality.
Oh, okay, I got you. So it's like
So they can just pick it up anywhere.
like effort. Yeah, those are cool.
And just a message from it.
Those are cool.
I just want the message, like it's just, no, I don't want the message. It's just the message I want out there,
Hey, I think this is the way, this is what you're saying. This is, like you're talking about Soulogy, people stepping up and speaking their truth, like Mina, that look what that created.
I know.
That caused Be Joy to come out of her closet. And there was somebody else, Brittany Marie from Alaska. And that Marie from wherever she was from, I can't remember. But I mean, it's like it's very contagious.
Yeah.
And so it might be a book, it might be a video. I'm amazed at when I see people and they just start picking up the camera and they start doing videos. And I think that's the best thing in the world. I think that, a book can do the same thing, but I'm just saying that it's necessary. It's expression.
Yeah.
It's to me, it's expression. It's some people might call it art, but to me, it's like taking your infinite intelligence and creating from the unknown. Basically, it's your own frequency of.
I wanted people to feel the energy in something that they could pick up.
Yeah, it's your energy. It's you. It's your peace.
And it's scary because that's really putting myself out there.
Yeah.
But it's like I'm moving to a place where it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where it goes or what it does. I actually did it.
That's right. That's right. And just think, once you get it published, and then you'll be doing a daily video and then the Soulogy group, 3 minutes with Gail, 3 minutes with Gail for 365 days. I'm not putting any pressure on you, but you never know who you're going to touch. You never know who you're going to touch. I mean, obviously we run on a pretty tight budget. We run on the unknown. We run on faith. And I say it all the time, thank people all the time. And but I looked at the multi-stream. Do I want to cut 50, should we cut this $50 off of it and go from whatever, 11, 12 platforms to I think it's 4. Because I looked at the productivity on the other ones, the ones that are more like other people's groups that they've let us come in and do it. And I thought to myself, it only takes, so you have an extra 6 or 7 and they cost you $50. Okay. What if and you do 65 shows a month? You think that you're going to hit one person or 2 people? Like, it's worth it. You know what I mean? I mean, it's like, there's something about having faith in the energy where it comes back.
Yes.
It's just like you said, when you put your book out, that's going to, it's like a shotgun. So it's like all these pebbles go everywhere and they pick up your energy. They pick you up, right? And then inspiration.
Yeah.
It's like that the post Morgan did.
Yeah.
I don't write a lot on the comments of posts, even her posts. I'll share them. But I was so impressed. I was like, holy crap. I wrote one
know.
right away, and then the next day I got up and I read it again like 6 times. And I'm like, holy crap.
I
And
know.
I put in there this, it was inspiring to me.
Oh, and it was so
Yeah.
beautifully written. I mean, it was just mind blowing.
Mm.
It was just, oh,
And that's what I think happens to people. They pick up your book, they tap in on a show, they have a guest they align with. I read it every day in the comments, every single day.
yeah.
That people, will say, it's just, and it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's really,
in us.
yeah. And it comes down to what you said, the individual putting it out there. And I tell people all this time, they talk to me about doing their own show, and I'll tell them, you're always going to be nervous.
Yep.
Well, you're not nervous. I'm like, you're always self-conscious. You're always nervous.
Yeah.
But you find that place where you don't think about it. That's where
Was like me this morning. I'm going, I don't know what I'm going to say.
mm-hmm.
I'm being told that I need to see Todd. So I just went,
Right.
okay, well, we'll put that there and just front out.
Well, the same thing happened last night. I didn't feel too good, and I got on, and I feel pretty good.
Yeah.
I
just like to thank everybody. Last time when I first went on, I'm not very good at technology, and I had so many lovely messages, and I please apologize to anybody that I didn't answer, because I was so overwhelmed coming on, it blew me away. So I just love you and Morgan, and love the whole Soulogy every person, every soul that is joined and listens is just amazing.
Cool. That's what it's all about.
Mm.
Well, I'm 2 shows deep into the next phase, so
thank you. Thank
you. Thank you, and thank you for finding Morgan, and Morgan finding you, and finding me.
I know. I'm so blessed.
I know. I mean, it's a strong connection.
Yeah.
I appreciate you. We'll do it again.
Okay.
I love you.
I love you too. And please take care.
I will. I'm going straight to the couch.
Cool.